Hello guys, and welcome to Season 4 of Grassroots to Giants. Back here in the Northeast with Norton Stockton Ancients. Today's episode we're going to have a quick run through of the transfers we've made. We're also going to take on our first league game in Tier 7. So let's run the intro and get straight into it. Yes, hello guys, thank you very much for joining me yet again for our Season 4 campaign in Tier 7. Ilkeston Town is going to be our first game of the season, but we are going to have a quick run through the transfers we've made. We're also going to have a quick look at the season preview in the league, the Northern Premier League Division, Premier Division we are now in. We are actually the favourites for the league title, heavy favourites there. We were before we made any signings. You can see FC United of Manchester down in this division. Going to push us all the way in this league. Ilkeston Town are predicted to finish 14th, so it should be a comfortable start for us in the division. We have managed to keep hold of Dylan Hugworth, which is absolutely massive for us. We have had some outs though. If we have a look at the transfers and the transfer history, you can see that we have lost Mohamed Sangare. He has gone to Stockport County, so disappointing to lose him. Stockport County have also taken Sean Wilson off our hands, the promising right fullback who played wing back for us last season. Did we lose anybody at the end of last season? Yes, James Carragher has gone to Cheltenham Town, the central defender, again another good player for us. We also lost Jason Fitzpatrick, who was a reserve goalkeeper for us. In terms of the ins though, we didn't sign any at the end of last season, but this season we'll run through them in order that we signed them, which was Charlie Winfield was the first to come through the door. He is a left wing back, can also play as a mid-centre, but he is going to be playing as the left wing back for us today, so we've got some cover for Josh Scott. If we just compare the two, we can see that Charlie Winfield is actually the better player. Josh is just quicker, really. So there's an improvement. Gareth East is a goalkeeper on loan from Scunthorpe United. We initially signed him to be the first choice goalkeeper, but then we actually went and signed another goalkeeper ourselves, which was Josh McNamara. He has come in, the 20-year-old former Manchester City Academy player. He looks fairly decent for this level of football. We've also actually only signed him as a breakthrough prospect, so he's not going to complain about first team football if we decide not to play him. But if we compare him to Harry Christie, you can see he is a better goalkeeper. Not so good shot stopping, which again is a concern, but we'll see how we get on with him. Jacob Cubban is the replacement for Sean Wilson at the right fullback position. Not the greatest, but again we were sort of short on what we had. He does have the potential to be a League 2 player, so if we can get him to develop nicely, then that will suit us very nicely for the 18-year-old. Chris Giles, not sure, is a striker. He's got 16 finishing. He's got some good natural fitness, some good pace, so he is like a rotation option for us. Again, another one who is signed as a squad player, so quite happy to be the rotation. And Konrad Wozniak, I don't know why I signed these players with these names I can't pronounce. He can play anywhere in this middle three. He's also left-footed, so he can fill in at left full-back if needed. He is actually training for us to be a box-to-box midfielder though. Which he's okay at, but again it was more about cover. So those are the ins. Not a lot else has happened. We're not in the position to upgrade anything at Norton yet. Our stadium is not up to scratch though for this particular division. It's we've been allowed for 1 year to play at reduced capacity, so I can foresee a stadium development coming in the near future. So that's the squad. That's the new ins. Dylan Hugworth is still our best player by a mile. Jay Glover's pretty good for us as well. We are lacking at centre half. I haven't actually been able to bring another centre half in. If we're truthful, we can drop Conrad back there instead of Greenwood. But yeah, Ilkeston Town is the first game of the season. So this is the lineup that we're going to start with. We're going to start with McNamara in goal. We've then got our two new wing backs in Winfield and Cubban, with Aziakono and Greenwood as the two centre halves. Conrad is the defensive midfielder for today's game, with Glover and Eastman in the centre of midfield. And it's a familiar front three to us all: Rodney, Hugworth and Harker. On the bench we've got Gale, Scott, Spencer, Chris and Salmon. Salmon's still here, by the way. He's had several bids in for him, but he won't leave, basically. We've had a successful pre-season, scored a lot of goals, not conceded very many. Obviously, we've got a lot of new players in who need to get used to the tactic. But we should comfortably beat Ilkeston Town. As you saw, we are the heavy favourites to win the league again. Yeah, looking to do it, looking to get into the Vanarama leagues. We do have a corner early on, which Hugueth has found Aziakono, whose header has clipped the top of the crossbar, and after 2.5 minutes on the clock, it's been a fantastic start to this game for Norton. We do have another highlight. It's McNamara, who, strange goal kick there. He finds Cubban back into Aziakono. McNamara, now Greenwood, out wide to Winfield on the left-hand side, but he's lost the ball to Hall, and now it's Bell. Grogan, Williams for Ilkeston, finds Bell again, now into Hall, who finds Webb. Winfield has won the ball back there. He finds Devante Rodney, who gets Rob Harker away, surrounded by players though, but he just finds Winfield again. It's back inside to Rob Harker, now Glover. Ball forward over the top towards Devante Rodney. It's a great challenge by the defender there, but Rodney was offside anyway, so it wouldn't have counted. Right, 18 on the clock. It's Sainsbury with the free kick, the goal kick, sorry, for Ilkeston, and Bird has won the header in the centre of midfield there, and Bell finds Hall, comes back to Williams, and now it's Hall again inside to Bell. Gillam with the ball now. Webb finds Gillam again. It's a great ball forward towards Hall. McNamara, great stop by the debutant in goal there. It was a chance to counter-attack there, but Football Manager said no. Right, past the half-hour mark now, and it's still goalless. We are having a lot of shots, but the highlights at the minute seem to be Ilkeston coming forward. The ball's with Bell. He's forced back towards Williams, who advances down the right-hand side. Finds Hall. Can we stop the cross coming in? We can't. It's a good cross. It's towards Webb, but Aziakono, as he's always done there, rises highest, clears it away, but it's still in there with Potter, and now it's Hall who's hit the outside of the post for Ilkeston. They are growing back into the game. We were going to have a shout, but we now got a highlight of our own, and it's Cubban on the right hand side. Ball into the box. It's headed clear by Grogan though, but Winfield does actually claim the ball back, and now it's Conrad into Eastmond and Harker. Conrad again out wide towards Cubban. Cubban advancing towards the byline, gets the ball back into the box again. It's towards Rodney. Rodney is fouled by Williams, and we are going to have a penalty. Rodney actually missed his last penalty in pre-season, but hopefully he can put this one away for us, and he can. Puts it right into that bottom corner, and finally after 37 minutes we have taken the lead. It's been a bit of a struggle so far despite the number of shots that we've had. That's our first highlight, I think, where we've had a shot on target, and it's come from the penalty spot, but we are ahead, which is great. We are in the attack again though with Winfield. It finds Rodney with a throw in. It's now Winfield again, comes back to Glover. He's got Conrad inside, and now it's Winfield again in towards Harker, but it's cleared, and Rodney with the first time effort, it goes wide of the post. Right into the break at half time, and it is still just the 1-0 goal advantage. We have been the better team, but I think we can go and get another goal. We may look to bring James Gale on the hour mark. Harker's not had the greatest games. We do find Ilkeston on the attack now with the free kick, and Callum Grogan has levelled the game for Ilkeston Town. Not the best start to the second half for us. Poor marking at the far post. Grogan was he all by himself? Yeah, he was. He was all by himself. It's absolutely shocking marking from that free kick. Now I am going to shout at them because we do need to get ourselves back into this game. We're also going to bring Harker off because he's on a 6.6, which is not great. Let's get James Gale on. Anybody else having a poor performance? No, just Rob Harker. So we'll go with that. We'll get James Gale on, the big man up front. See if we can turn our fortunes around in this game. I'd like to start the season with a win. It's Conrad forward to James Gale, the new man on. Now it's Eastman, now to Dylan Hugueth, the star man. Cuts it back onto his left foot, finds Cubban instead. It's towards the far post, and Rodney, and James Gale rises highest, and his header hits the underside of the crossbar, and he can't get the follow-up, but that's exactly what he's in the team to do, the big man. Sainsbury now with the goal kick for Ilkeston goes long, but Greenwood is underneath it. Now it's Winfield forward to James Gale, looking for Rodney down that left-hand side, but he can't get there. Williams gets there first, and it's back with Sainsbury in goal. Again, it goes long, but again, we win the header. Asiakono this time. Now it's Gale. Hugworth. Hugworth looking to take his man on, looking to feed the ball down the right-hand side. James Gale. Oh, you've got to score, James. You've got to score that, mate. And we're straight into the next highlight, though. It's another goal kick by Sainsbury, which, again, Asiakono's underneath. Now it's Winfield and Jay Glover feeding James Gale. Gone out wide to Rodney again. That's the second time we've seen that ball tried, and it hasn't come off. But again, we win the ball back from the long ball from the goalkeeper. It's Winfield. Now Rodney. Inside to Jay Glover. Now Conrad. Out wide to Eastman. Eastman's got Cubban outside of him. The ball was a little bit behind Cubban there. He had to adjust to reach it. Now it's Hugworth and Cubban again. The right back, Sainsbury, has made the save there. Would have been a good goal by the right wing back there, who's not really had the best of games. We do have a corner though with Hugworth. It's towards James Gale, and James Gale has got his head on the ball again. But again, he's missed the target. We really need to get a goal here. We are the dominant team if you look in terms of XG, but I wouldn't not like to start the season with a draw. Into the last 10 minutes to get ourselves the winner. Glover looking out wide to Hugworth. It's a fantastic ball. Hugworth keeps it in play. Gets the ball across towards James Gale, and James Gale's had another opportunity which he's put straight at the keeper. He really should have done a lot better there. Greenwood now goes long, but Williams is underneath this one. Now it's Taylor and Hall. Quinn back to Hall. Hall gets the ball into the box, but McNamara comes and punches it as far as Eastman. Now it's Devante Rodney looking to get James Gale away, but Grogan is underneath that. Now it's Taylor and Bird. Back to Henworth. In towards Bird again. Now Gillam gives the ball straight to Dylan Hugworth. James Gale, you need to go. The ball's going to break to Rodney. Rodney is fouled by Williams. Williams is going to get himself sent off here. Rodney was away there if he managed to pick the ball up, and Tommy Williams puts Ilkeston Town down to 10 men. Hugworth with a poor header there. It's cut out by Taylor. Inside to Henworth. Henworth goes long, but we are comfortably going to gather that with Winfield. Forward towards Rodney. Now Winfield again. Greenwood. Can we bag ourselves a goal in the final 5 minutes? It's Conrad out wide to Winfield again. He's got the big man in the box. He pulls it back instead to Jay Glover, who does get the ball into the box this time. And James Gale finally hits the target. And we've found ourselves back in front of this game. We've made hard work of this. We have made super hard work of this. But at the end of the day, all that matters is the win. Curzon Ashton are top of this division as it stands. Of course, we know that we have beat Curzon Ashton twice in the past. Jay Glover with the man of the match performance for us there, and we really made a struggle out of that game. So that's the start of the Season 4 campaign, guys. Start of Tier 7. We've laboured to a win, but we have got players settling in still, of course. James Gale needs to be a little bit more clinical. He is inconsistent, if we all remember correctly. But McNamara played well in goal for us. And we find ourselves sat in 5th position in the league. We've got Macclesfield Town coming up next. Of course, another team who we have played in the past. In terms of next episode and when we're going to be back, we'll have to have a look and see. I'm going to play through a few league games and just see how we get on against some of these teams before I decide what we're going to do. It's possibly going to be FC Manchester. They are 19th in the league at the minute, but if we do remember, they are actually predicted to finish 2nd. Basford are also predicted to finish 3rd, and they currently find themselves bottom of the league. But it's potentially going to be FC United. I've got a few games to play through. I'll gauge how things are going here before we decide what we're going to do down here. We've got the FA Cup first qualifying round coming up as well. We may not show that depending on who we get. As always though, guys, thank you very much for watching. I've been Dean. Please remember to hit that thumbs up button, and I'll see you all next time.